Hello, everybody, and welcome to another Sunday night frequency meditation. My name is Rob, and June is such an amazing time in Vancouver. It stays light till like 10 o'clock at night. The nature is just on steroids. It's a beautiful time if you want to come visit Vancouver. Winter time's not quite the same. It gets dark at 3:30 and it rains a lot. So spring is here. Let's bring in the frequencies of nature in this meditation. It's to all help you align. As I said, I like to keep things super simple. That's what I've been shown. And this narrative out there about the ascension process and ourselves having to transform and heal, really not like that, especially now in this time that with what all the universe has done with the shifts that's been going on in the last years, we really now have the opportunity to harness the rhythm of universal time, harness the rhythm of the planetary time, harness the rhythm of nature's time. We are nature. Harness that so we come into this perfect alignment. And with that, we get to enter this space, this environment, this atmosphere where we have access to so much. So I like to keep things simple. That's how I've been shown. And also it really makes sense to me that why would spirit create such an amazing reality here in density if we humans have to spend the rest of it trying to complete ourselves? We are complete. We just have filters that don't let us know that. So, oh, buddy, he's behind me. He's been tired. We've had a long walk today. And with that, kick back, enjoy the meditation, and let's bring in this alignment so we can all be our best possible self. That was the intention.
So just let's get settled in to where we are, noticing the position you're in. If you are standing or sitting, lying down, walking, doing the dishes. These meditations, we don't have to be in just a stagnant position. We can also be doing something if it takes your mind off of other things. So it's always just being in our body right here and being aware of what we're doing or how we're positioned at the same time as we take a deep breath in. Taking that breath into a count of 4. And then holding for a count of 4. And releasing through the mouth to a count of 5. So whenever I say take a breath in, if you can just take it in, it could be your own count. There's nothing special about these numbers, but just try and be disciplined with it. It helps you start to copy these patterns in other areas of your life. So as we take a breath in, and noticing your whole body, the entirety of your body, referred to as the inner environment, everything within. From where your skin is, from the inside of the skin, that's our inner environment. That's what we have full control over. We have full control of our outer environment as well. But first, we need to take back control of our inner environment. So noticing your whole body, where your skin ends, and everything within our inner environment. And coming from the layers of the skin, the inner skin, just visualizing with that inner eye of ours, our flesh, our veins, arteries, the bones that make up our body, cartilages, keeping those bones connected, our internal organs, the heart, the lungs, the spleen, appendix, for those who haven't had it out, kidneys. Another breath in. Let's come up to the brain area, the left side of the brain, is that analytical side, makes decisions, creates, produces with systems. Where do those systems come from? The right side of the brain is our creative side, imagination. Everything starts with imagination. Taking a breath in. Most of us, as we're being brought up, we're discouraged to use our imagination, calling it daydreaming. But in fact, as I mentioned, everything that has been created here has started with our imagination. It's another sense that we have besides the five senses. And then coming to the central part of our brain, where the left side and the right side merge together. And just let's stay here for a second. As I generate these frequencies, I use nature that pull you into more alignment. We spend so much time in our outer environment trying to fix it, change it, heal it, improve it. It's a lot of energy with minimal results. So what we do here at Space-Time is that we focus on our inner environment, letting go of all of the stresses, the challenges, the frustrations, the fears of our lives. We're certainly not neglecting it at all, but we're coming into a more efficient way of transformation, of expansion. So we focus on that inner environment, being here, right now, this very second. It's the only thing that is real. The past is gone. The future hasn't been created, yet we humans spend so much time in those other two places of time. So we focus on being here and in our body, because that's where your spirit, timeless self, higher self, universe, whatever you want to call it, that's where it resides. Because it is truth with a capital T, and it can't exist anywhere outside of truth. So what we do is we take a breath in. We notice our body, our inner environment, and we ask, what is it that I need to release, or what frequencies do I need to gravitate towards? To bring me in closer conscious contact with that higher version of me. And it might be 7 versions higher. It might be 20 versions higher. It might be the next version. It's your rule set. As we take a breath in, bringing in these frequencies that align us to that position in space and time, closer proximity to our timeless self. And what we're doing here, it's not a mental exercise. It's not suggestive thinking. It's not even visuals. It's far, far more potent and focused and precise. Is I'm helping you help yourself align in that reality where your best possible self is. It's okay if Some of you who are new to this work don't understand it. The knowledge will come to you versus you having to try and remember or figure it out. That's information. What we do here is that we receive the knowledge directly, not through third parties, not through spirit guides or anything else. It's opening up that communication between you and your timeless self. So you start expanding in alignment. What we're really doing here also is fine-tuning all of us on this journey, or not on a journey, humanity. Why I say consciously be aware, conscious contact, because we're always connected to our timeless self. We couldn't be here if we weren't. And what an amazing feat it is. Our spirit has created us so we're all separate, autonomous, while still being connected to the whole. That's a pretty amazing feat. Another breath in. So it's by focusing on our inner environment and that proximity of where we are creating ourselves in space and time. This is the subquantum physics part of this work. We open up realities, and there are infinite realities we can open up. We've opened up this one that we're in right now through programming, past programming, what we've brought over from our ancestors. But now, because we have the manual, we can start navigating to better realities where we are abundant, where we do have perfect health, optimal health, where we have loving, expansive relationships, where we have excitement when we wake up in the morning about the day ahead of us, instead of, like most, dread. It's just navigating to that reality. And as I said, we have infinite realities. Only one is open at one time. There's that theory that there's multiple us's being performed at any time. I don't receive that. I receive the one that we put our intention on and how we navigate to it. That is the current us. But the possibilities on offer is infinite. So as we take that breath in, and we just ask for that awareness of this conscious contact, and asking for that awareness of what do we need to drop, what programs do not serve us. Many of us have similar programs, and then we have our own unique signature program, but many of us have the programs from the mass consciousness, which is always governed by lack. And control, being controlled or controlling others. Taking that breath in, just Just noticing how you're feeling. Everything we do here is experiential, so you experience it. It's not about learning it. Much has been talked about manifestation. Very little results for all the things out there on manifestation. Law of attraction, The Secret, vision boards, all the many speakers. This is a component that's missing. It's fine to create and manifest, but you're in a reality where there's non-deserving programs, sabotage programs, lack programs. And that's what you're going to create. So, for those of you who have been working with me for a while, you space-timers, you know the power it has when we align ourselves and how then our outer environment, everything outside of our body, our jobs, our money, our relationships, our health, our inspirations, our perspective of life, that consequently changes. We don't have to do anything about it. It all comes to us, the thoughts of what we need to do next to accomplish something. We become aware of the blockages we have that are preventing us from moving into that best possible version of ourselves. And you space-timers, you know the power. Right in. Let's give other people that hope. Hope is one of the greatest gifts we humans can give each other. And the wonderful thing about this journey is that it never ends. It's infinite. And yes, we're always looking forward because that is the evolutionary process of the universe, is to constantly be expanding, constantly be expecting. There's no question. If it will happen, it will. So that's the evolutionary process, is to be always in expansion mode. And it's balanced with being here right now. And being in this moment in complete awe of what has already been done for us. From where we've come from, which is before even an atom, to how far we've evolved to the extent of what we're doing here right now. So many of our needs, all of our needs addressed, but maybe not our wants. Wow, talk about manifestors. So there's that balance of acknowledging the power you are and what you have already accomplished. And then having that eye on that next version of you. So we're fine-tuning. Most humans don't feel that way. Most humans feel they're a complete mess and their life is a mess. And that nothing has really been accomplished. But this is, again, part of this work. As space-timers, you start to see the truth of who you are, of where you've come from, and that duality starts to narrow as we breathe in, focusing on your lower spine. That duality starts to narrow the gap and you start to merge with your timeless self. And there's a conscious awareness and guidance. At the beginning, you test the waters because of this thing called doubt that we have in the mass consciousness. But then the evidence accumulates so you can turn off that debating society within and just accept that your spirit really does have your back at all times. And then as we use the 5 senses to spatial reference, which is an amazing technology to bring you into your body. Humans are not in their body or in the present moment at all, barely. So we listen to any sounds around us right now. Where are those sounds coming from? And where am I in my body in comparison to that? Any smells? Where are the smells coming from? And then where am I? This internal spatial reference, the taste in your mouth, it references what needs to be released within the body for optimal health. If you have that communication with your timeless self in sync, we're not supposed to have ill health. We're not supposed to decay for decades before death. We notice what is touching us, what's supporting us, what has been supporting us this whole session without us thinking about it. What is that intelligence about? And then as we open our eyes, we look at an object. That object does not have our story attached to it. So we notice the object and then we notice that object is in our outer environment. And we reside in our inner environment. And that's all we need to focus on right now is this inner environment, being in our body. And practicing, like everything is practice, being in the present moment. So if this week, if you can practice, June is a really great month for us right now. We're all having lots of expansions. It's not about the healing, it's about the expansion. And if there is healing, we get to couple that with expansion. So it's not just always a work in progress, but we say, okay, this has come to our awareness. Well, let's delete that. Let's delete that imposter syndrome. And at the same time, expand into that person that has great expertise and gifts to enjoy for ourselves and to pass it on to others. So this week, let's use our imagination and asking our higher self, our timeless self, our spirit, let me see what the next version or the 8th next version of me is about. And just let the awareness come to you. And with that, I hope you all have a beautiful week, and I'll see you next Sunday.